Yeah, Jessica, it is very difficult to watch. We are actually going to go through it and show our viewers what he is apologizing for. But
I was naive and young when I met him, so I feel like he tried to take advantage of that and manipulate me. It made me feel low about myself.
Onto your seats, folks. Jennifer Lopez is breaking her silence with some jaw-dropping revelations about her former Shaw Diddy Combs in a startling twist. Lopez alleges her experiences with Diddy were much more distressing than those detailed by Kessie. She recounts close encounters with the law and a turbulent relationship that could have put her in jail. Lopez is now standing in solidarity with Kessie, joining forces in a high-stakes lawsuit against the music mogul.
So difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you got to do that.
Diddy, who was once lauded for his philanthropic efforts and celebrated as an MTV global icon, has seen his reputation plummet following Kessie's explosive abuse lawsuit. The singer's allegations of physical violence and coerced group activities have opened the floodgates, prompting multiple other claims of abuse and harassment against Diddy and his bad boy associates. Despite Diddy's denials and a swift private settlement with Kessie, the fallout continues to cast a long shadow over his...
Sometimes you could think Puff is like a brother. It's easy to mistake Puff as a friend.
Authorities have raided Diddy's properties, suggesting at a federal sex trafficking inquiry with international repercussions. The participation of Homeland Security and the mountain of civil complaints signal a storm of legal disaster. As the inquiry progresses, Diddy may face Jennifer Lopez's revelations add a new layer of scandal, promising more shocking information to emerge from the famous saga. Jennifer Lopez, once part of the glittering Hollywood pair known as J-Lo and Diddy, has come forward with alarming descriptions of her time with the music billionaire.
And it's just as horrible. Puffy Combs and Jennifer Lopez, probably one of the most glamorous couples just in history.
She has stated that their relationship, which appeared dazzling on the surface, was tainted by adultery, emotional abuse, and legal entanglements that nearly wrecked her career and life.
She claims that it was the
her
first
2024 documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told.
Sean Combs and
Lopez revealed that Diddy's behavior was
frequently
frequently aggressive and rude, indicating a turbulent relationship that she had hinted at, but never completely disclosed until now. Lopez describes the nightmare of their arrest in December 1999, a pivotal moment that propelled their romance into the public eye in a spectacular and deadly way. The pair was arrested on weapons and bribery allegations following a nightclub shooting in New York City.
The defendants are charged with criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree and third degrees for the possession of loaded 9mm guns.
While Lopez was exonerated, he went through a hard court battle before being acquitted in 2001. It was a complete disaster from beginning to end, Lopez told Elle magazine. In the car, I was terrified and had no understanding what was going on. No one else did either. This episode, she now says, was only one of many sad occasions throughout their time together.
Charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that.
Adding to the pain were continuous rumors of infidelity.
Especially if you suspect your man
Lopez has admitted that Diddy was unfaithful, which destroyed the foundation of their relationship. She discussed with Vibe magazine that Diddy would frequently disappear for evenings pretending to be at a party, leaving her in a state of continual worry and emotional agony. It was my first time with someone who wasn't faithful. Lopez revealed, I was in this relationship with Puff where I was totally crying crazy and going nuts. It really took my whole life in a tailspin. According to close sources, the leaked video of Kessie beating at Diddy's hands was a turning point for Lopez, prompting her to finally break her silence.
She didn't want to commit to a
Lopez was
partner
deeply
who was so
disappointed and disturbed by the video, which showed a degree of brutality that she had managed to escape, but had always feared. Jen will not respond or discuss the charges since it is not her story to tell. An insider stated to the Daily Mail, yet Lopez's response to the video is instructive. She is horrified to learn that the man she once trusted has gotten entangled in such horrible deeds.
The issue is, it seems as though he wants to kind of like exert power and dominance over people who...
Despite her reticence to speak directly about the assault film, Lopez's revelations in her documentary and recent interviews paint a picture of a highly unhappy relationship. She remembered
To the
incidents
last
of being
detail,
manhandled
Diddy
and
got into a
abused in ways that
confrontation
were
with a
far
bar
from
customer
loving.
one day while
There were people in my life who said I love you and then didn't do things that were sort of in keeping with the word love. Lopez clearly alluded to her time with Diddy without actually naming him. This veiled confession has further fanned conjecture, with fans and analysts seeing parallels between her experiences and Diddy's present troubles.
According to court documents,
The federal probe into
traded
Diddy's
insults
alleged
inside
sex
the club.
trafficking activities, combined with Lopez's revelations, suggests that the fallout from the scandals is far from over. Authorities are reportedly examining his connections and movements carefully, hinting at more explosive details to come as Lopez stands in solidarity with Kessie. The courage of these women to come forward may inspire others who have remained quiet to tell their stories. Lopez's narrative of survival and strength is gripping, asking questions about how many more women may step forward as the inquiry unfolds. Do I want to be home with kids in 10 years wondering where someone is at 3 a.m.? Lopez once asked herself a question that drove her to end her relationship with Diddy. This question now resonates more broadly as the world watches to see what more realities will emerge from the shadows of Diddy's past. It appears that Kessie and Jennifer Lopez are not alone in their heroin experiences with the music tycoon, as disturbing disclosures from two more women have emerged, adding gasoline to the already raging flame around Diddy's notoriety.
And I remember, like, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but like, I felt like I was in the presence of his mom.
Wants to view us.
It's a really traumatic experience.
Joey Dickerson, a former student at Syracuse University, came forward with charges going back to the early 1990s. Dickerson had a terrifying experience with Diddy, then a rising figure in New York City's hip-hop scene. According to her lawsuit, Dickerson was paralyzed and attacked by Combs, who callously videotaped the assault and spread it among the music industry.
I don't feel like I could advocate for myself in that moment. Like, I realized, like, oh, this guy is...
The aftermath of this violation plunged Dickerson into a downward spiral of depression, leading to serious effects for her mental and emotional well-being.
Their seemingly ideal
Similarly,
relationship was beginning
another
to fall
unnamed
apart.
woman
Jennifer
identified
loved Diddy,
only
but
as
he
Jane
never
Doe
reciprocated her
recalled a
feelings in
chilling
the same
account
way.
of assault and
actuality,
violence
Diddy
allegedly
remained in love
committed
with
by
his
Diddy
ex,
and
Kim Porter,
R&B singer Aaron Hall, according to her lawsuit.
with other men
Jane
in the
Doe
music
and her
industry.
friend were coerced into intimate acts by Hall after attending a music business event.
Are pointing out the fact that she has actual photos in the studio. So placing her there in the studio, one of the photos, she's actually sitting on Diddy's lap.
In a horrifying twist, Hall reportedly molested Jane Doe as Coles assaulted her acquaintance in another room. Combs later arrived at the victim's home, intimidating them into silence, and brutally assaulted Jane Doe. These disturbing charges build a devastating picture of Diddy's alleged habit of abuse and deception over decades, leaving a path of trauma in its wake. The emergence of these new accusers adds weight to Kessie and Lopez's claims, implying a disturbing pattern of behavior that goes far beyond isolated incidents. As the allegations against Diddy continue to mount, questions loom over the extent of his claimed abuses, and who else may come forward with their own stories of survival and resilience. With each revelation, the spotlight intensifies on Diddy's past actions and the systemic problems of power and exploitation within. It's tough to ignore the resurfaced comments of Gina Hinn Diddy's ex-girlfriend, whose charges of physical and emotional abuse give further legitimacy to the rising chorus of voices speaking out against the music mogul.
I mean, like the first 3-4 months, he was really nice, but then after that, he started being so like
Coin's terrible claims of violence and coercion provide insight on the persistent culture of secrecy and fear, which has allowed Diddy's alleged misdeeds to go unchecked for so long.
Always belittling me and always like, he was like mentally, emotionally, and physically abusing me.
Furthermore, the alarming reveal from Diddy's former bodyguard, Jen Deal, adds another layer of complexity to the storyline, suggesting a history of violence and control inside Diddy's personal connections. Deals claimed that Kim Porter, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, once resorted to self-defense by slicing his wrists, highlights the gravity of the charges and the deep impact of Diddy's alleged behavior on those closest to him.
Not be with nobody else, and he knew it. And he could do whatever he wanted to.
Following Cessie's lawsuit and subsequent settlement, The music industry finds itself at a crossroads, grappling with uncomfortable truths and systematic failures that have allowed abuse to thrive behind closed doors.
However, this romance
As
ended
Diddy's
abruptly
legal
after
battles
only
progress,
18 months,
the
leaving
world
the two of them
watches with
deeply
bated
hurt.
breath,
Even though
waiting to
Diddy
see
thought they
what
should
other
try again,
revelations will
Jennifer
emerge from the shadows of his past. With each new development, the facade of glamour and success surrounding Diddy starts to crumble, revealing the...
I guess that's what the whole name bad boy comes from, that people don't really understand. What is it? What is a bad boy? Why did he choose that name?
As the allegations against Diddy continue to pile up, the public outcry is reaching a crescendo. Fans are not only shocked by the horrible claims, but they are also questioning the role of bystanders and institutions in facilitating his claimed abuse. One reviewer remarked, "That hotel should be sued for failing to disclose the abuse. Is there a statute against concealing such information?" Furthermore, long-held suspicions about Diddy's character are rising to the surface, according to a fan. "I never liked Diddy. There was always something strange about him, and he also did his artist incorrectly. I couldn't figure out why I didn't like him. Maybe my spirit saw what my eyes couldn't see."
Crescendo.
This
Fans are not
sentiment
only shocked by
suggests
the
a
horrifying
collective
accounts, but are also
intuition that
questioning the role
transcends
of
mere
bystanders
appearances,
and institutions
pointing
in
at a
enabling
deeper
his alleged
understanding of the
abuses. One
complexities
commenter
surrounding
remarked, "The
Diddy's
hotel
persona
needs to be
and
sued for not
actions. Before we bid AO, we want to hear from you, our avid viewers. What do you think about the role of organizations in cases like these? Should there be legal penalties for those who turn a blind eye to abuse? And regarding Diddy, do you feel these charges will mark the end of his career? Or will he find a way to bounce back? Leave your thoughts in the comments below and keep the topic going till next time. Stay tuned for extra updates on the ever-changing saga of celebrity scandals.